day that a defense attorney can catch a prosecution witness saying two different things that really contradict each other, that is what you call a good day. But it is what you call a great day if it happens in a high-profile murder case and if you're the defendant. Let's take Karen Reed, who's on trial for a second time in Dedham, Massachusetts, for allegedly killing her police officer boyfriend. The prosecutors say she hit John O'Keefe with her SUV and then just left him there to die in the snow. And the witness in question today is this woman, Kerry Roberts. She is a friend of that police officer victim. And she testified at Reed's first trial as well, and also testified for the prosecution. Here's her story. She says that Karen Reed called her at 5 o'clock in the morning screaming, "John's dead!" And then followed that with, like, he might have been hit by a snowplow. This is bombshell testimony, people, because that call, she says, came in way before John's body was ever found lying in the snow. How could she have known John's dead? How could she have known about a snowplow? How could she have known about snow? Really hard to like, get over this, right? Except if you're that guy. If you are Alan Jackson. On cross-examination, Karen's hotshot defense attorney, Alan Jackson, took this witness down a notch. He pointed out inconsistencies between her grand jury testimony and what she said in court. And it all had to do with what this witness claims Karen Reed was saying out loud that terrible morning in the snow. This witness originally told the grand jury that she'd overheard Karen instructing their other friend, Jen McCabe, to Google hypothermia. But as it turns out, on cross, that actually may not have happened.
You painted a very, very detailed picture in front of the grand jury, didn't you?
Yeah.
Except it's not true, is it?
I did not hear her ask that. I was told she was asked that.
The answer to my question, Ms. Roberts, and I'm not a trick question, what you told the grand jurors was not true. You never heard her, my client, ask anyone to Google anything, did you?
I did not.
And yet that's what you testified to under oath, under penalty of perjury, in front of the grand jury, didn't you?
I did.
And the reason you did that, the reason that you said that false statement was because someone told you to say it, correct?
Object.
Is that, I'm going to let her answer that.
Nobody told me to say it.
Still, that's rough, right? That is rough if a defense attorney can point out you said something that you didn't say. That's rough. So there was that today, right? Like wind out of sails, the prosecution. And then a little later in the day, the victim's mom, John O'Keefe's mom, she took the stand for the very first time. Her name is Peggy O'Keefe, and she talked about Karen Reed coming over to visit the morning that she'd learned her son was dead. She said Karen didn't offer condolences. Karen didn't offer a hug. Karen has a different description for this. But the prosecutors added that Karen's sole reason for coming over was to get her car the hell out of there, because they say that car was a murder weapon. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to bring in somebody who's following all of this as closely as we are. Annie Elise hosts the true crime podcast Seriously with Annie Elise, and she's here with me live. Annie, thanks for doing this. So first and foremost, let's just go to that moment on the stand where Kerry Roberts was sort of really put to the test by Karen Reed's lawyer. I mean, she really did have to admit that she'd said two different things.
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting because not only was he seemingly catching her in a lie and that she had perjured herself, but all through cross, he was insinuating that her previous statements to law enforcement were colored by Jen McCabe, the same person who he was now insinuating is the one who instructed her to lie to the grand jury and say that she overheard Karen direct her to Google how long hypothermia, when now she's saying she never heard Karen say that. And I think it's very interesting, too, because he brought up, okay, well, when you said that in the grand jury, why did you say the words how long? Because we also know of the infamous Google search, house long to die in the cold. So why would you use those particular words? To which she couldn't answer.
So here's the other thing yesterday when I was watching, and I want to know your perspective in the court, because me, outside of court, I have a very strong feeling about this. Yesterday, it seemed that the prosecution went on at length, laying groundwork with this witness to suggest that she was not friendly with anybody in that house. So if you think she's part of a big old grand conspiracy with all those party goers who, you know, in the defense's view, killed John O'Keefe and then covered it up and framed Karen, the prosecution really wanted to look like this witness is not chummy with those people. Today, once again, that went out the window.
Oh, absolutely. Alan Jackson on cross, she not only was admitting that she and Jen McCabe and some of the others are in constant contact, but it seems like now she and Jen have become best friends since that night in January. And he had alluded to and asked her several times, so would you guys talk before you would make statements to law enforcement? She said yes. They built timelines together. They had conversations, all in preparation for these statements that she gave to law enforcement. And at one point, too, while she was in an interview with law enforcement, Jen McCabe texted her right then and there, too. So again, really inferring that all of her statements and even her testimony isn't that of her own, but more so heavily influenced by Jen McCabe.
And it's for the jury to weigh it, right? To decide how much credibility do I give to this and how much do I not? Okay, so I wasn't sure about this. It's always really hard to watch when a victim's mom gets on the stand and has to answer questions, even from the friendly fire, right? That's the prosecutor asking friendly questions of John O'Keefe's mom. And I watched this as she broke down, and I just thought, oh God, as a mom myself, my heart broke for her. I just didn't understand what this did for the case. Did it do anything, or did it just humanize John O'Keefe?
I think it was meant more as a strategy to humanize him and to also illustrate that this family has just gone through tremendous tragedy and so much loss. And if you pull at the jury's heartstrings that way, of course, that whole courtroom was emotional. Anybody is going to feel emotion during that moment. But what I thought was interesting is after the prosecution had talked with her, for cross, Alan Jackson was like, I just want, I'm sorry for your loss. I don't want to ask you anything, almost to say like, you've gone through enough. You're grieving. I can't imagine this loss, and no further questions.
Yeah, if you're not going to make any points, don't go after a grieving mom. It doesn't do you any good. Okay, last, real quick. They want to play Karen's words against her in court. And this was what we've been waiting for. This is how trial number 2 is going to be so different from trial number 1. One of these clips is under advisement right now. The judge is going to decide tomorrow. And it's a clip from the Hulu documentary. When I watched it, I thought, ooh, that is not going to be good for Karen Read if it ever gets played in court. And she's basically imitating that mom that morning when Karen Read came over and they'd all discovered that John was dead. And the words that she uses, and I'm going to imitate it, was sort of snarly. He looks like he got hit by a car. I mean, she's snarling. Karen is snarling. And, this is not going to play well if the jurors see her that callous towards a grieving mom. But do you think this is going to get in? Like, where are we? Or is it 50-50?
So to my understanding, right now it's 50-50. And the reason why the defense was trying to get this out wasn't even necessarily the clip itself. I think that's a piece of it. But apparently they wanted to play this clip directly after Peggy was on the stand. So you have this very emotional mother who's grieving the loss of her son. And then you play this clip where Karen is seemingly mocking her in a way directly following that. And one of the big things everybody's going after is Karen's behavior. She comes across a little unlikable at times, a little bit callous. And so I think that is where the big problem lied with this. I do believe it's going to be under review, and we'll see if the clip gets in, but it could be a little bit tough for Karen to have that play and everybody see that.
Yep. You really get a view of her hardness, and it's not likable, and you want her to be likable if you're her defense attorney. Annie Elise, thank you so much for this. We'll call on you again. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so if you have followed Karen Reid's trial and then her retrial, even a little bit, you will know that a juror from her first trial, the mistrial, is a lawyer who's now on her defense team. Clearly, getting inside that jury's head is a win in itself, which is why I am so excited about my next guest, because he was also a juror in the first Karen Reid trial. Ronald Estanislao is live with me now. Thank you so much for being with me. I so appreciate this. How did you vote if you don't mind me asking, how did you vote in the first trial?
Voted not guilty on all 3 counts.
You voted not guilty on all 3. What was the breakdown like in the jury room for those for and against? And if you could, tell me also the breakdown of gender.
The breakdown, in general, breakdown of gender, more female than male. And then in terms of the breakdown in terms of, in general, how they were voting, if that's what you're asking, is essentially we were pretty much not guilty on 2 counts. And I guess this is why we're here and we're having this retrial, is because we did not understand the directions very clearly, and that we could individualize or deal with each charge separately. And so we voted for 2 of the charges unanimously not guilty, but
Right.
1 charge we were split on, and that was the manslaughter charge. And that's where
I wanted to ask you, though,
deliberated
if I
for
can,
several
Ronald.
days.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm more curious about the breakdown, men and women, and who voted guilty and who voted not guilty when it came to men and women. What was that split?
I don't know the exact number because we were an uneven number in terms of males and females in the group, but I don't know exactly the exact number. I cannot recall how many females voted versus how many males voted guilty versus not guilty.
So it wasn't palpable that all the women, were voting guilty and all the men were voting not guilty. It wasn't obvious like that.
No, it was not obvious. It was not obvious that, if anything, if I were to guess, and again, I'm not 100% sure because we've deliberated on this motion, essentially is that we're about 50-50, if not 60-40.
Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to play a clip of Karen Reid's voicemails that she was leaving that night for John O'Keefe while John O'Keefe was presumably dying in the snow. I'm going to play them and I'm going to ask you a question about them afterwards. So let's roll it.
John, I'm here with your kids. Nobody knows what the you want to hurt her. John, I'm going home. I cannot babysit Amy. I need to go home. You are using me right now. You're another girl. Kim's sleeping next to me. You're a loser. Yourself.
Okay, so here's my question, Ronald. When you guys were deliberating the meaning of those voicemails, were you all thinking that's a jilted girlfriend who's angry that her boyfriend is cheating on her, so therefore she could not have killed him? Or were you thinking there's an angry woman who was probably fighting with a boyfriend that she killed that night?
I believe, honestly, that we were split on that, and that some of us believe that it was the rant of an angry girlfriend, jealous girlfriend, and also maybe clearly intoxicated individual. And on the other hand, there was some who probably thought the opposite. So I think that's why we were at a standstill.
Okay, I only have a couple seconds left. I have to make this quick, but have you seen the Hulu documentary about Karen Read? And if you have, has it changed your opinion at all about voting not guilty?
I think it's changed after that, and now they don't know, right? People have ideas after the fact. That's why they couldn't ask us about our vote after the fact as well. So I would not look at it as a testimony per se, but it's now left to the new jury to decide ultimately.
Ronald, you were, so I'm out of time, but you were breaking up. Was that a yes or a no that you'd seen the documentary, and a yes or a no that it changed your opinion of anything?
Is a no, that I have not seen the documentary and in full, and no, I don't think it's going to change my opinion.
I am so appreciative of your time, Ronald Estanislao. Thank you so much, not only for doing your jury duty, but also for being on the show. Thank you for this.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.